show everybody our yoga today? Good downward dog. Good upward dog, Bella. Good yoga. Good yoga, puppy. I know, we're gonna yoga. So take a moment to get into a comfortable situation. If you want to use an eye pillow, you're welcome to do that. If you have other props that you like to use for yoga, you can gather those. I don't know how much Bella will hang out with us today. She's got her warm blankie on since it's cold outside. We're gonna find, today we're gonna be working on opening our hips, getting our shoulders stable, some options for binds. So if you know that your arms don't normally connect without a strap, you're welcome to gather a strap or a tie or a scarf, or you can just move your arms without the bind. That's always available. So whenever you're welcome, or whenever you find your comfortable seated position, we're going to relax our tailbone, send our spine tall, relax our shoulders. Let's gather in some deep breaths, inhaling from the nose down to the belly, exhaling out of our belly, back out of our nose. Let's lengthen our spine a little taller with each inhale and relax as we exhale. Just a few deep breaths. Sending an ear to the shoulder, let the side of the neck stretch open. Reaching tall, relaxing towards the other side. Reaching tall, sliding our shoulders up and down a few times. And with our shoulders resting, let's open our palms, inhaling fingertips up to the sky, joining the palms and exhaling thumbs down to the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen, reaching tall. Exhaling, relaxing down. Let's take another deep breath. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, resting. So we're going to relax one hand by our side. The other arm, we're going to reach out to our side. And then we'll feel the shoulder blades relaxing. Start to roll the side arm that's lifted. A little in, a little out. And then we're going to reach it over, pat yourself on the back. Bottom arm can pull the top arm in closer if you want just a little different stretching in your shoulders. And we're going to relax the bottom arm, take the top arm out, rolling it again. And then releasing the back of the hand by the lower back and then pulling through your elbow to open out your chest and your shoulder. Now we're going to release the arm to the side, stretch it up to the sky and roll. Palms back, palms forward. Just a little bit of movement through your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder. And as our palm reaches back, our fingertips reach towards the shoulder, elbow reaching tall. Getting all those muscles around our shoulders to release. So maybe when we have the options for the bind, that will be more accessible. So let's trade sides. So we'll roll the other arm, rolling in, rolling out, wrists, elbows, shoulders. We're going to send the arm across the body, stretching through your upper arm, just wherever you're feeling a good release today, and breathe. As that bottom arm rests, the top arm reaches out, let's roll it in, and then relax the hand at the lower back, sending the shoulder back so you feel that stretch through the top of the arm, the collarbone, feel that reach through your chest muscles as we breathe. And then the arm stretches up towards the sky, get a little rolling, palm forward, palm back. Feel that movement through our wrist, our elbow, our shoulders. As our palms reach back, maybe our fingertips reach towards the shoulder, elbows stretching up to the sky. Now as we rest here, we're going to feel the shoulder blades find just a little bit more movement. Start to flow a little side to side, arms towards one side, arms towards the other side. Feel your shoulders reaching, feel your ribs reaching, feel your lower belly reaching, just a little side to side movement. Now you can keep this movement flowing. You can hang out on one side, lengthening on the inhales, twisting deeper through the exhales. Maybe stretching over to the other side, lengthening and twisting. Moving back to the center, send one arm over our head, the whole ribs open. And then trade sides. The other arm reaches over. As we find our way back to neutral, our inhale sends our ribs open. Exhaling, thumbs down into our heart. Let's find an all fours position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, creating our neutral spine. Inhaling, pressing our rib cage forward, expanding in cow. Exhaling, pulling the rib cage up, folding into cat. Feeling that flowing movement into our spine. Inhaling as we open, exhaling as we fold, creating just a little reach and relaxation through our spine into our breath. We're welcome to keep the movement flowing up and down. Maybe we add that side-to-side movement, shoulders towards the hips on one side, finding just a little release in our spine as we breathe. As we find our way back to neutral, our ribs come in. The right knee reaches out to the side, and we're going to add this circling movement in our hip. Circle around Bella. She apparently is not a big fan of that. Let's trade the direction. Just get a little bit of warmth in our joints. Then when I send the thigh out, pulling the thigh back, pulling the thigh forward. Just a little bit of movement side to side. Now as our thigh reaches back, option to keep the heel reaching towards the hip, option to extend the leg out towards straight and pull through the front side. Now as we pull the knee towards the shoulder, you can keep the knee bent. You can extend the leg out towards straight. Now we're going to end up resting that side leg straight. So the left knee can circle, feeling just a little bit of movement into our hips. And maybe trade up the direction. Then we're going to pull the knee out to the side, pull the thigh back, pull the knee forward. Just a little bit of movement, that thigh and hip. As our thigh pulls back, maybe the leg extends, stretching out here as we breathe. We can pull the knee towards the shoulder, option for the leg to extend here. And then we'll rest through the knee. Now, from here, I want to think about moving your collarbone. So I want to think about our collarbone sinking inside our shoulders, and then our collarbone pulling our shoulder blades up to the sky. So collarbone sinking in, collarbone lifting up. So you're feeling the arms being still, and just the collarbone is lifting and lowering, so you can feel those muscles supporting the torso, the upper chest, lifting and lowering. Now you can feel when the collarbone lowers, you feel a lot of weight in the shoulders. When the collarbone lifts, you feel more of the core muscles taking over. So we're going to think about maintaining this collarbone lift, shoulder blades wide, stretch, and think about lengthening out one leg, lengthening out the other leg without moving our arms or the collarbone. We're keeping that stability through the torso. Now you can keep moving one leg at a time, or maybe we lengthen out both legs and both knees, feeling that strength through the upper body. So we find that stability through the shoulders. And then as our knees relax, our hips sink back, resting into any variation of a child's pose, releasing into our shoulders, our ribs. Our fingertips can stay reaching forward. You can pull the arms over towards one side. Let your side ribs open out. Moving back to the center and then maybe towards the other side. As we stretch back into neutral, we can release here, finding stillness in child's pose, maybe inhaling to our kneeling plank, creating that lengthened spine. Remember, in the collarbone lift, feel your ribs pulling in, your lower belly pulling in. We don't want it sinking in our lower back. So we can stay tall. We can fold elbows in, rest our hips. Inhale, lift the heart, opens to cobra. Thank you. And then exhale, rest back. to child's pose. Good downward dog. Good girl. Oh, you've got good stretches. And thank you, Bella. If we're thinking about, hey, on there, a downward dog, you're welcome to lengthen. I don't know if she's going to let me do a downward dog. We're going to stretch out our spine. Maybe our knees are bent. Maybe our legs are straight. Maybe one thigh comes forward, the other side comes back. Are you downward dogging too? You downward dogging too, Bella? Let's send our feet up towards our hands. Rest in a forward fold, shoulders relaxing. Maybe our head and neck find just a little bit of movement up and down. Maybe just a little bit of movement side to side, maybe a little up and down again. With our inhale, let's lengthen up halfway. Grounding the heels, let's inhale and stretch up all the way, fingertips to the sky. Reaching one arm a little taller, the other arm a little taller. Feel the ribs, feel that stretch in the side body, lengthen and release here. Just a moment to stretch and relax into the breath. And with both arms stretching up towards the sky, we inhale, lift open. Exhale, just halfway into an airplane. Pulling the top of the head forward, fingertips back. Lift the collarbone, the ribs, the belly. Sinking the tailbone back, fingertips resting, shoulders releasing. Right knee slides back behind us. Left heel rests up underneath our knee. Arms on either side or the inside of the front leg. The inhale pulls our hips and heart forward. The exhale relaxes our hips and thighs back. So maybe we have just a little bit of flowing movement. Feeling just a little stretch and release through our legs. Feeling that reach through the chest as we breathe. Now as we come forward, feeling our ribs press forward, maybe even lifting up the back heel so that we stretch through the front of the thigh. And then we're relaxing back into child's pose, feeling a moment of rest and stillness. Maybe we have that flow, inhale and plank or kneel and plank, find that stability, pulling the elbows in. Inhale, lifting the heart open. Exhale, resting our hips back. And breathe. Now we'll help our right foot find its way into our lunge. Arms on either side of the front leg or the inside. The inhale pulls our hips and heart forward. The exhale rests our hips and thighs back. Maybe we're finding that flowing movement, feeling that release, trying to breathe out any extra sensations through our legs, finding relaxation through our body with our breath. And we're welcome to keep the body flowing. You can find a moment of stillness with the hips back, the spine tall. Again, sink back into our lunge, thinking about our hips and ribs pulling forward and maybe that back heel floating, stretching that front of the thigh a little deeper. And we're tucking those back toes, bringing the back foot towards the front and relax. Our inhale stretches up halfway. Let's ground the heels, inhaling all the way, fingertips to the sky. Guiding one hand to our form, guiding that arm over our head. Let the side ribs open. Moving to neutral and then over towards the other side. Find a little release here through your arms. Get a little sway through your shoulders. All right, back to the front of our mats. Inhaling, lifting our heart. Slide diving down, left foot coming back behind us. Back knee can be lifted or lowered, whichever feels better. Maybe we're twisting towards the front thigh, open into our lungs. Stretching back, choosing maybe child's pose, maybe downward dog. Options for stillness, options for plank or kneeling plank. Find that stability, collarbone lifting. Ribs lifting, belly lifting. We can stay here. If we're in plank, we're going to need to move the shoulders towards the fingertips and then bend the elbows towards the ribs. Feel that inhale, lift the heart and stretch the lungs. Exhaling, reaching back. Find a moment to breathe. Get our bodies to rest into our breath. Sending our left foot into our lunge. Feel sliding under the knee, back knee up or down. Maybe we're twisting towards the front thigh, stretching open. And then releasing. Reaching back, finding child's pose, finding downward dog. Anywhere we're feeling good, stretch today and breathe. Option for a three-legged dog, helping the right foot reach up towards the sky. Right foot comes forward into our lunge. Now you're going to feel this length through the body. The front side reaching forward, the back side reaching back. So when I send our hands on the inside of this front leg, you can do fingertips, you can do fist. If you have a block, you're welcome to use that. We're going to feel just a little flowing back and forth. Inhaling, hips and ribs reaching forward. Exhaling, hips and thighs resting back. So just a little bit of movement through our legs. Your front leg does not have to lengthen towards straight. We're just feeling a little bit of reach and release as we breathe. Now from here, we're going to start to add a different sideways flow. So your hands are going to start walking towards the back foot rest. You can stay, or you can lengthen out this front leg and sink your hips back to this little side lunge. And then walk back to our traditional lunge. And then walk back towards the side lunge. And then walk back to our traditional lunge. We'll just do a few of these, reaching side to side. Now we're going to end up stopping. So if you want to stop in the lunge, we can. We can stop in this halfway spot. You can stop in the side lunge. I don't know how this is going to work. Now you have an option for a bind here. So this is going to work. We're going to send this straight leg arm up to the sky. So sit. Thank you. And then roll it in so the back of the hand reaches maybe up to your rib cage. Now you're going to take this arm on the ground, slide it back, and then maybe your fingers connect and you can lengthen up your spine and breathe. Now you can relax, coming back forward into the lunge and lengthen up the spine. Now, as we're ready for rest, you can release back to child's pose, downward dog, or pull the collarbone in, take the front foot up to the sky to a three-legged dog to hang out. Or we can inhale, finding plank, kneeling plank, or this one-legged plank. You want to rest the foot as you lower with control. Inhale, lifting and opening, and then exhaling it back. So finding just a moment to relax into the breath. I finally found something more entertaining than me. We'll take a moment to breathe. Now, we have the option to inhale the left foot up towards the sky to three-legged dog, helping this left foot find its way forward into our lunge. Take a moment to breathe. So you can have hands on either side of the inside here. We're just going to feel this front leg stretch towards straight, the front knee bends, just a little bit of movement through our legs, through our hips. Just a little stretch as we breathe. And as we find our way reaching back forward into our lunge, we're resting the hands on the inside of the leg. Now we're walking towards the back leg, and maybe we just hang out halfway. Maybe we lengthen this front leg and stretch into the side lunge. And then you can walk back towards the front leg and then walk towards the back leg. And you're feeling this flowing movement side to side, reaching forward, reaching back. Now you're welcome to just continue flowing back and forth. We can find a moment of stillness forward. We can find a moment of stillness halfway. You can come back into the side lunge and then sink. Feel your hips finding stability. This straight leg arm reaches to the sky, rolling in, so the back of the hand can reach back, and then this arm is helpful to be near the knee joint so that you can sink the hands back and connect and lengthen out the spine. Now we're resting all the way back into our lunge, stretching our spine tall. Options for child's pose, options for downward dog. May we lift and strengthen the collarbone, pulling the front foot back up to the sky, to that three-legged dog to hang out. Maybe we find plank, kneeling plank, or one-legged plank. We can lower with control, elbows in, inhale, reaching the heart open, exhaling it back. Letting our bodies rest, taking a few releasing breaths. Having that option for a three-legged dog with the right foot reaching up towards the sky. Right foot finds its way into our lunge, grounding the back heel, reaching open to warrior two. So we're stretch our spine tall, shoulders relaxed. We're inhaling this front leg towards straight. So your thighs engage, lifting the front toe, bringing our toes parallel, resting our hands on our hips. So let's inhale, lift the ribs forward. Exhale, turn and reach your ribs towards one thigh. Inhaling back tall, exhale, turning towards the other thigh. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, reaching. So feel that lift, feel that stretch. You lengthen and then rotate. Just a little stretch and release as we breathe. Now from here, when we find a little evenness, let's inhale tall, exhale, come parallel. So from here, you can have hands on hips, hands on thighs. If your fingertips naturally can relax under your shoulders without any strain, your shoulders or your lower back, you can relax here and release. Now we're going to have just a few twisting options. So if your arms are comfortably under your shoulders and you can feel length through the back of the head, the back of the hips, we'll let one palm come under the heart and the other palm reach up towards the sky. Then we'll relax that palm and then twist the other arm open. Now you can stay in the center. Feel your inner thighs engaged, lower belly engaged. We can walk over towards one leg. Feel your spine reaching towards the back. Now this arm closest to the leg will stay. The arm further away from the leg reaches up to the sky. Now we can stay here. Option to bind. You can bend that knee that you're reaching towards, rolling the arms in so that maybe the hands connect, the ribs can stretch open. You can stretch the front leg towards straight or keep the knee bent and pull the ribs open. And then if you've found you'll need to bend the knee to release out, let's move over to the other side. So stretching the leg towards straight to start if you feel like that's a good option, and breathe. Arm that's closest to the leg stays on the ground. Arm further away from the leg stretches up to the sky. Feel the inner thighs, that lower belly, helping to keep the body stable. And then if you want to try the bind, you'll need to bend the front knee just so you have that connection with your shoulder by your knee. That works the best. We're rolling in, letting the hands connect, lengthen the spine, maybe lengthen the legs, stretching open into our breath. If we bound, we're bending the knee to release out, returning back to the center, and let your shoulders head in that breath with gravity. So maybe we get a little bit of up and down movement with our head, maybe a little bit of side to side movement, maybe a little up and down again. You can ground the heels, inhale, reaching back tall. We're going to move the front toe back to the front of the mat, sinking that front thigh, and then cartwheel our arms back in. Floating the back heel into our lunge, maybe we're twisting, and then returning. Child's pose, downward dog, hanging out. Maybe we're inhaling, find that stability in plank or kneeling plank. Maybe we hang out, maybe we bend. You can choose. Inhale and open, exhaling and relaxing. Just a moment to breathe, relax into our breath. So we're finding just a few resting exhales. And then maybe we send that left foot up to the sky to three-legged dog. Sending our left foot forward into our lunge, letting our back heel ground, finding our way into our warrior two, lifting the ribs, sinking our hips, relaxing into our breath. Just a few resting exhales. We're going to stretch our front leg towards straight, bring our foot to parallel, rest our hands on our hips, and then we're going to bring our feet. You can walk separate. If you want, you can jump your heels under your knees in line with your hips and your shoulders and get a little rocking movement. Now you're going to help your feet be about shoulder width apart, so not a traditional chair pose. But we're going to inhale, lift the ribs open. Exhale, tailbone back, shoulder forward. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, tailbone back, the other shoulder forward. So a little flow side to side, lifting and then reaching. Lifting and then reaching. Do a few deep breaths, lifting and reaching, lifting and reaching. Now you're going to ground the heels, lengthen the spine, push into the palms. Inhale, lifting the rib cage. Exhale, sinking the tailbone back. So we're a little wider chair. So we're going to have a few options here. First option is you can choose which side you want to start with. We're going to send our elbow on the inside. So we're not twisting across. We're letting same arm connect on the inside of the same leg. Lengthen the spine, push the palms together, and feel your heart and your thumbs connect. Now feel your inner thighs, your hips stabilize, the legs, and then maybe the arms extend out. So if you want to try the bind here, we're rolling the shoulders, the wrists, the elbows. Maybe we're connecting our hands and stretching the spine tall. Again, option to lengthen out the legs if you want, but you can always keep the bend in the knee, the ribs open. Now, if you're a fan of bird of paradise, you can pretty easily move into it from here, keeping the non-bound leg on the floor. The bound leg lifts, and then you can stretch out. But that's an option, not a requirement. But come back to the center, rest your shoulders, maybe your head and neck release up and down, maybe a little bit of release side to side. Let's ground the heels. Inhale, lifting. Let your arms sway just a bit. Shoulder, wrist, lower back release. All right, let's inhale and lift. Exhale, come back to that chair. Pull the lower belly in, our little wide chair, shoulders resting. So we're trading sides. So the same elbow, same leg, but on the other side of your body, reaching the spine tall on the inhale, turning the torso. So you feel that rib cage expanding out to the side. Feel your thighs, hips stabilize, keeping our joints happy, and then reaching the arms out maybe. If you like the bind, we're rolling in, rolling, rolling, rolling. Feel that release. Stretch your arm. Body does not want to do that today on this side. And we'll come back to the center, ground the heels. Inhale, lift up tall, rest our palms to the heart. Then we're going to return to our warrior two, feeling that left toe come back to the front of the mat, arms reaching wide. Lift the ribs on the inhale, and then exhale, come all the way forward, finding our lunge, hanging out or adding the twist, turning towards the front And then releasing. Maybe we're moving back into child's pose, into downward dog. Maybe we rest for a moment. Maybe we inhale, finding plank or kneeling plank. We can hang out. We can exhale, elbows into the ribs. Inhale, expand the lungs. Exhaling it back. Let our bodies breathe, feeling just a moment of relaxation. Let's send our feet up in to our hands, relax into our forward fold, maybe our head and neck. Feel a little up and down movement. Maybe just a little bit of side to side movement, maybe a little up and down again. Let's inhale up halfway, pushing through the heels, inhaling ribs to the sky, arms relaxing, maybe just a little swaying movement. Find a little release here as we breathe. Alrighty, so we're working on our balancing. If you'd like to find a structure to stand next to, we'll begin with tree pose. Grounding one heel, the other knee bends or opens to the side. We're feeling inner thigh engagement. Pelvic floor lifting, planting into our palms. Toes can stay on the floor, toes can float off the floor. Foot can feel the calf, foot can feel the inner thigh, avoiding pressure on the sides of our joints. Feeling relaxation and rest as our bodies begin to rest and relax into our exhales. Palms can stay at the heart. Maybe you want to give your shoulders a little rest and relax your arms, or maybe you feel like more stability by lengthening the fingertips up to the sky. Just wherever we're feeling a good stretch today, continuing to find relaxation as we breathe. Feeling that breath, finding relaxation with each exhale. As we release this side, let's find relaxation in our joints. As we're ready to trade legs, the other heel feels the ground, softening knee. The other thigh is forward or to the side. Reaching in, maybe lifting up, planting into our palms, finding that focal point. Toes can stay, toes can float, foot can rest inside the leg, avoiding pressure on the side of the joints wherever we're feeling the most stable. Palms at the heart or relaxing or reaching towards the sky. Choosing what feels the best on your body today. Let's find rest and relaxation into our breath. Each exhale feels peace. As we find rest, let's wiggle out those joints. Just a little release here as we breathe. Okay, so we're going to move into another balance, and you're going to have options. So the first option, it's going to be a variation of a standing pigeon, but you're going to have the option for a bind. So we're making sure we're trading legs so the other foot takes on the weight. The other ankle can cross at the ankle. As your thigh and hip open, maybe the pinky toe come up to the calf. Maybe we're ankle above the knee. Maybe with that deep flexion in the knee, we slide the pinky toe up towards the hip crease and create this half lotus. Now, if you're in a traditional pigeon or a standing pigeon, you can just hang out and stay. If you want to add this bind, you're going to send the arm back, maybe your fingertips find your big toe or little toe, and then we can stay up, lifted. My body is not doing this well today. And then you can fold forward or hips back. whichever works better. Now we're going to lengthen back out. Rest here, shake out your joints, give everything a little happiness. Let's try legs. So the other leg takes on the weight. Again, you can do any variation in sitting pigeon. You know, some days it works, some days it doesn't work, whatever your body allows. We're going to ankle above, flexing, maybe pinky toe at the calf, maybe pinky toe above the knee, deep flexion, and the knee as our pinky toe might find that hip crease and a little relaxation into our hip. So again, you can sink back like a normal. You can find the bind, maybe the arm reaches back, maybe you find a toe. You can stay tall and lifted. You can hinge forward. Feel that stretch here as we breathe. As we lengthen back tall, you can rest out, shake out the joint, everything a little release. Now from the front of our mat, opening on the inhales, slowing back in with the exhales, relaxing our shoulders. Maybe our head and neck feel a little up and down movement, maybe a little side to side movement, maybe a little up and down again. Moving to either all fours or downward dog, whichever feels better. Option to pull this right foot up towards the sky. We're going to move into pigeon. Right knee towards the right wrist, left toe sliding back. So we're inhaling, pulling the lungs open. Option to stay just lifted and stretching today. Option to relax the ribs forward, maybe resting head in the hands, maybe playing with your animal or child that came to say hi to you today while you're on the floor. Anytime I'm on the floor, Bella thinks it's time for her to come and hang out with me. I know, we have so much fun. Now whenever you're ready to lift this chest, we're going to inhale and push the ribs, the lungs forward. So maybe we pull the ribs forward enough so that we can bend the back knee and we're not hanging out on the patella. Now with the same arm as this front leg grounding, this back hand can come to the hip and you can just hang out here. Now you can lift the rib cage and rotate your rib cage so that you can see this back leg. So maybe grab hold of it and you slide the heel closer to the hip. Now you might get to the point where you can get your elbow to hang out, and then maybe this front hand can come and find the back hand, and you can find a little deeper stretch. And as we're ready to come forward, we can return child's pose, all fours, downward dog, maybe back up to that three-legged dog. Find a little rest here as we breathe. An option is send that left foot up, sending the left knee into our pigeon. The right leg can stretch back, feeling that relaxation through our hips, maybe opening the front side of the body and hanging out, maybe stretching forward, maybe resting down. So finding that place, they feel good, release. Take a moment to breathe. And with our inhale, we're sending our spine back tall, shoulders relaxing, heart open. Then maybe the same arm as this front leg grounds forward. Maybe the hand of that back hip sends the hip and the heart neutral to the front of the room. And then we can pull the back heel in and then pull the rib cage towards the side so you can see the back foot. Maybe your hand finds the back foot. Maybe slide in enough so that your elbow might find the foot, and then you can reach back and let the chest open. Then anytime you're ready to relax, we can find our way back to child's pose, maybe all fours, maybe downward dog, maybe three-legged dog. As we relax, maybe move our knees and hips just a bit side to side. And then anytime we're ready for stillness, enjoying any resting position of your choice. If it feels better to be in downward dog, that's always available. Maybe child's pose feels good. Let your shoulders rest here as we breathe. Okay. And our inhale, we'll lift our ribs, send our legs out ahead of us as we find our staff pose. Giving our hips just a little rock side to side. Take a moment to breathe. Now we're going to let one heel come in towards our hip. Now you're going to lift on the inhale. We're going to start by turning towards the front knee. So we're lifting and twisting. You can have the back hand for leverage. You can have the front elbow for leverage. Getting a little twist through the spine, a little stretch. Find a few resting breaths. As we send our ribs back to the center, we're going to send the arms on the inside of the legs. So our goal here, if you want to try this bind, is to be sure that our armpit and the front of the shin can connect. If this is as far as we go, getting our arm to wrap around the front of our leg just isn't going to work. So we can just hang out holding it. But if we think we can get it, we'll get the back of the hand to stretch back. And the goal is to get the ribs so that then when this back arm comes back, it has enough space. Now you can keep your ribs lifted or you can fold nose towards the knee. Now as we lengthen, you can release the bind, send your shoulders back, and pull the ribs up. Now from here, give you another little fun option. You can just push your heel to the ground and lift the leg. You can reach your arms, and if your hand finds your leg, maybe you lift the leg, maybe you lift the hips and the leg, and breathe. Now, a variation of this you can also try is to send the foot on the outside of the leg. And I find it's easier to do one way, but other people around me find it's easier to do another way. But again, shoulders reaching to the inside of the leg so you can grab that pinky toe side of the foot. This back forearm bends and you push into that standing leg to lift. Some people find it's just easier to push into your forearms and lift the hips. So just another little option for a little more core strengthening. So let's trade legs. This bent knee is going to lengthen out. What was the straight leg comes in. Feel that reach of the spine, and then we're turning towards the bent knee to start. So we're feeling that lift on the inhale, feeling that rotation on the exhale. Maybe your elbow feels like coming outside the thigh for a little deeper twisting. Now as we come to the center, we're going to let both arms come inside the leg. So again, your shoulder is rolling in and your armpit needs to be in front of the shin for it to work. Your back hand needs to be able to reach towards the rib cage so that your back hand has that space to stretch back. Now you can be more tall spine. You can fold nose towards knee and get a little stretch here into the breath. And then another little fun balance here. You can reach your hands towards your front foot, maybe just lifting the foot. Do it with the dog. Lifting the foot and the hips in balance on the foot. Or you can take the foot across the body. Toe is perpendicular here. And then the arm reaches down, perhaps maybe the pinky toe side of the foot, so you can lift your hips. Or if you want to do it without holding on, you can do that, just a little push up. Now we're going to let both legs lengthen whenever you're ready. You can play with that as long as you like. Rock the hips maybe just a little bit side to side. And then we're going to pull the heels in. Shoulders relax. Let the spine release here just a bit. Feel the ribs lift. Now from here we're going to make some space to recline behind us. So we're going to have options. A little bit more core strengthening release or less, so you can choose. We can just hold on to the thighs, feet down or toes lifted, heels up or legs straight. You can let go from any of those options. You can hang out in the boat as long as this is feeling like a good stretch. We're going to slowly use the core, thighs, to engage, to help the body unravel with strength and stability. Shoulders and feet end up resting. Arms can stretch over the head, or if it feels better, just relaxing our arms by our side, feeling our shoulders releasing, feeling our ribs, hips relaxing, taking just a few resting breaths. As we slide our heels in towards our hips, we have maybe a different option for a bridge post. Since we've been thinking about shoulder binding, if you think about your heels coming closer to your hips, you might be able to grasp your ankles. Getting your heels to ground, your shoulders to ground, and then thighs and hips reach up and pull the lungs open. Still freedom in the head and the neck, keeping that weight through the heels, reaching through the heart. If we've got a hold, we're letting go, sending our feet wide, maybe adding some windshield wiper movements, resting here, a few relaxing exhales. And sending our thighs into our chest, releasing the spine. We can be still, we can rock just a bit side to side, finding just a little release through our tailbone, our ribs, our shoulders. We can stay here, we can add the happy baby, knees towards the shoulders, soles of the feet to the sky, hands on the thighs, hands on the calves, or hands on the feet, hanging out in stillness, or adding that side to side movement, finding just a little release here as we breathe. And as we send the soles of the feet together, thank you, Bella. Thank you. The heels come down into our hips, feeling the thighs opening wide and the shoulders releasing. Feeling that rest through our thighs and our hips, the shoulders resting into the ground. Just a moment to breathe. Now we're going to have the option to add an abdominal crunch. So it's what I like to call kind of like reclined crow crunch. So the arms can stretch over the head on the inhale, and then as we exhale, we can reach our hands past our feet. So we're inhaling, opening, exhale, reaching. Finding that stretch, finding that reach. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then if you'd like to grab the toes, the shins, and release the spine back into the ground, we can be still here, taking this moment to relax into our breath. And then guiding the heels underneath the knees in line with the hips, and relax our shoulders. Now this right ankle will relax on top of the left thigh. So you're going to have the option to just hang out here. You can send the thighs softly to the chest. You can reach your hands behind the bottom calf. You can lengthen out the bottom leg and reach up towards the foot. Now as you exhale, if you want to add a little bit more of an abdominal crunch, you can send your nose up toward me. Bella apparently really likes this pose. She wants to be a part of it too. And relax into the breath. Now we're gonna rest this. If you've straightened out the bottom leg, you can bend it. Now we're gonna send the top, the hands toward our feet. So this same arm as this top leg is gonna reach under towards the bottom foot, and the top hand to the top foot. Now you're gonna turn to your left, let your bottom knee rest. Top knee can reach up to the sky, or you can extend the top leg and lengthen out, feeling your shoulders and your hips stretch away from each other and breathe. You'll come back to the center and then trade sides. So the heels in line with our knees and hips. Left ankle above the left knee. Keeping our legs still, maybe thighs towards the chest. Maybe hugging the thighs in deeper, maybe extending the bottom leg with the option to reach the hands up higher on the leg, maybe even exhaling our nose up towards the knee, adding that little abdominal crunch and breathe. And with our spine resting, we're going to bend the bottom leg. So this same arm as this top leg reaches to the bottom foot. Same arm as the bottom leg reaches to the top foot. So it's kind of like opposite arms, opposite foot, but they're on the same side of the body at the moment. Now, we're going to roll to the right. And again, that bottom leg just relaxes. The top knee can reach up to the ceiling. You can hang out here. You can extend that top leg towards straight, gazing away from this top leg, letting your spine relax here as we rest into our breath. Now as we're ready to come back into neutral, we're sending both thighs back into our chest, find a little stillness with our spine on the ground, maybe a little release here, side to side. We're welcome to send our hands up to our knees, add a little back and forth movement, inhaling as we open the thighs away from the body, exhaling as we pull the thighs closer in towards the body, creating just a little bit of back and forth movement. Maybe our knees are circling on the ceiling, feeling the tailbone, lower back, our hips resting in one direction, maybe trading the direction here. We'll stretch and rest into our breath. If you want to add a few windshield wiper movements, our feet can move wide, maybe feeling part mat, part floor, guiding the thighs towards one side, guiding the thighs towards the other side, finding that relaxation through the thighs, the tailbone, the lower back, giving it just a little stretch and rest through our breath, a little releasing, relaxation through our exhales. We can keep the movement flowing side to side. If there's some other stretch you really enjoy, you're welcome to move into that. If we're still windshield wipering, you can let your thighs rest over to one side and just enjoy the legs resting with gravity, or the front foot can reach to that back thigh and pull the back thigh closer to the ground. You'll feel a little bit more stretch through your outer hip. Feeling the shoulders releasing, the ribs relaxing as we breathe. If we've decided to relax on that one side, we can lengthen up and relax to the other side. If you're doing any other stretching, you can even out your movements if you're doing one-legged options. Just a little stretch and relaxation through your thighs, through your hips, through your spine, finding that rest into our breath. And anytime our bodies are ready for stillness, you can keep the feet wide, rest the knees together. If you have an eye pillow that you wanted to use, now would be the time to relax it on your eyes. So feet wide, knees together, or Turning into a butterfly with the soles of the feet together, the knees wide. Maybe we find a traditional Shavasana with our legs extended, the feet open, the palms open, taking a moment to notice our shoulders, finding that place of relaxation and rest as we find the breath, releasing the body. So we're beginning to focus on that breathing pattern, letting that inhale expand all the way from the nose down into the belly, noticing the breath, resting back out of our belly, back out of our nose. Noticing peace and rest through the body as we breathe. Finding relaxation and rest through each exhale. If it's helpful for our bodies to allow our minds to focus on our breathing pattern, we have several options to get our minds to focus on the breath. The first is to just allow our minds to focus on the lung cages expanding out with each inhale. The lungs reaching back into the midline of the body with each exhale. So you're noticing that flowing movement through the entire lungs and the release of the entire lungs. If it feels better for our bodies to find something other than just that flowing pattern in our breath to focus on, we can add a count to our breathing, maybe counting to see how long it takes for our entire lungs to expand. And then maybe using that same count to press out all of the air back out of our lungs. Finding that inhalation expanding, our exhalation releasing with that same count so you have a little equal ratio breathing pattern. If we like colors better than numbers, we're welcome to add a color into our breath. So maybe as we inhale, our favorite color travels in through the nose, expands the lungs brighter and deeper as our lungs expand. And then the color begins to release back out of our lungs and rests and softens with each exhale. So however our bodies have allowed our brains to focus on our breathing, we're going to continue to feel that deep inhalation, that deep exhalation, noticing rest and release into our breath, noticing peace and stillness with each exhale. We're welcome to continue with our relaxation breathing. We can begin to guide our breath into our fingers and our toes, welcoming any movements into our bodies at any time. Finding rest and release as we breathe into our hands, into our feet. Finding relaxation through our wrists, through our ankles. Noticing the breath, relaxing the lower legs, the lower arms. Feeling the breath in our knees, our elbows. Resting the breath into our thighs, our hips. Releasing through the upper arms, the shoulders. Welcoming the breath into our spine, creating relaxation through the tailbone. Releasing through the lower back. Resting into the rib cage. Releasing through the shoulder blades, finding peace in the neck, the back of the head. Our bodies are welcome to continue just as they are. You're welcome to hug the thighs to the chest, maybe relax the spine a bit side to side, maybe folding onto our side into a fetal position. Noticing peace and relaxation through the body as we guide in some calming, restful breath through our left nostril. Sending that peace, relaxation, and calm through the body with each inhale. Pushing out anything we just don't need today through that right nostril. Feel it escaping down into the floor, away from our bodies. So our calm, peace, and relaxation maintain throughout the rest of our day. As you're ready for a comfortable seated position, you're welcome to find what feels the good on your legs. The tailbone rests, the spine grows tall, the shoulders release. Let's find a few final breaths together with our palms opening. Our inhale sends our fingertips to the sky. Our exhale rests our thumbs to the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen tall. Exhaling, relaxing down. Let's find one more breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. Namaste. Thank you for joining me and Bella for yoga today. And say bye, Bella. Say hi and bye to everybody. Say thanks for hanging out with me today. We had so much fun in yoga.